Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel.
Hope you have a wonderful day. In today's video, we're going to talk about, questions that we found on social media. It was somewhat interesting and figured it might be helpful for everyone out there and based on our own 2 cents, how we go about doing things.
From our experience and our knowledge.
Yes.
So question
Yep.
today, if you were about to retire and had only small amount of money, $5,000 to be specific to invest, where would you invest your money to help you feel fairly confident that it would give you a decent return in 5 to 7 years? I really want to only invest in dividend paying stocks.
So 5 to 7 years.
Whoa, so
$5,000.
I want to find out that too. Because so for us, we were looking for capital gain at the beginning. So we just buy any international share, Australian shares, any share that good
Well,
in capital
in
gain.
capital gain, yes.
And then we realized, well, we spent so much money in there, but how come we got nothing back, or we got very little amount of dividend back? So
Yeah.
then we try to find that ETF that pay dividend.
In fact, a few nights ago, we actually sat down and go through a lot of ETF that do monthly dividends.
Correct.
And what we find is
You can't really have both. There may be you can't have you you cannot have, I don't know, how can I say, you can't have something that grow in very long term. No, you can, yeah, you can find something that grow in long term, but they may pay not as much dividend.
Mhm.
For company to grow, they need
The
to
capital.
reinvest
Yep.
the profit back to the company.
Yep.
If you're looking for companies that paying you good dividend and also long-term growth, that will be really hard.
Because what we find is you can get let's say consistent high dividends, but
Yes.
the price of the
Yep.
ETF or the share is bound to be stagnated
Yep.
as it is,
Yep.
or if not, it deteriorates.
Correct. We saw a few of the monthly paying dividend ETF that the price actually went down half.
Correct. So it looks good that you're getting this monthly income, but at the same time, the company bound to be drowning.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough surplus income from it.
Yes, they don't have enough income to continue to do research and development for the product.
Yeah. So I mean, some of them is like, yeah, you're right. Some of them is like half the price over 10 years period.
Yeah, we're shocked. We saw, oh, this stock they pay really good dividend every month. Let's check out. Lucky we checked out 10-year or 5-year price charts, and then it half.
Everything just going down.
It was like Australian ETF. It was $22, and then currently is $12 in 5 years.
And then vice versa, and then you've got the extreme on the other hand. It's like you're not going to get a lot of dividends, but you're still going to get a little bit of dividends.
Yeah.
It's not as consistent. Maybe quarterly, maybe half yearly, maybe once a year. I think twice a year or so. Yeah. Now that one there gives you capital growth, and at the same time you only get a small amount of dividends. So in our portfolio, some of them is like quarterly and half yearly as well as a monthly. We have a mixed bag.
Yep.
And we realize, goes, okay, then that's what our finding a few days ago. Yeah. So it'll be hard for you to have a good, consistent monthly dividends with that amount of capital, with $5,000, especially when you need it in about 5 years' time.
Correct, 5 to 7 years.
It won't give you enough to eat.
No, it's just give you a coffee.
Yeah, something like that. Like it's probably enough for a grocery, but it won't, put a big dent in your expenditure.
I think that's how we did started for our kids account.
Yep.
That's how we started, around $5,000. So what we did, it was I split into two.
Yep. One of them is capital gain.
Yes. So 50-50. I split into, one is high growth ETF, and the other is a high yield. They pay, I think, dividend maybe quarterly. It's not much, but then because they're still young, they got plenty of time to accumulate that compound.
Yeah, like for
effect.
they're under 10 now. Yeah, I don't expect them to retire for another 60 years.
I want them to retire in 30 years.
But yeah, we put them, we create, like, I guess it's an option if they want to go to work. That's the idea.
Yeah.
It's not a must. It's an option. But if you're already thinking of retiring within 5 to 10 years, yeah,
it's just a small investment, I think. Yeah, but for us, we cannot give any advice on what stock. We just thinking, if for me, if I have the 5,000 and I'm going to retire shortly, I may do the same. I may split in two because dividend cannot make you go further.
Yeah,
and then it's not enough for as a $5,000 capital. So I'll put it in half. If you want to get some dividend, get something high growth stock with dividend, and the other one is just high growth ETF stock.
I mean, because there's maybe in about 5 years' time or so, you might consider cashing out the high growth one or something, and then to convert that into cash flow.
Yes, when you retire, that will be hopefully will be no tax or less taxes than tax.
So we're not expert in anything. This is based on our personal experience, based on our data, and based on what we're holding. Realizing now it's like, oh, we've only got this amount. I think overall, how much is it? I think it's like a quarter. We're getting roughly about 1,000 something.
Oh, each quarter, yes, we have one. We receive $1,000
on
dividends.
So that's about $4,000.
Well, but each quarter is different. Yeah. Like final quarter normally give you more.
Yeah.
And we're in Australia, so our final dividend will be in July.
Oh wait, June. July. Oh yeah, gotcha. So yeah. So on an average, it's about between 1 to 1.5 or so per quarter. So let's assume it's roughly about $4,000 a year. But that's a big lump sum.
What do you mean?
As in, like, it's like we're getting that $5,000 a year in terms of dividends. However, our capital overall, I think
almost
it's about
10 times.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So
you need a lot of money to earn like enough dividend for you to live on.
That's it.
That's
we're looking at, okay, then our target at the current stage, we wanted to have, let's say, $50,000 a year. That's a mixed bag between monthly, quarterly, half yearly dividends, as long as it's about $50,000.
Yep.
Yeah, which is on an average about $1,000 per week or so.
So that means we need $5 million.
$5 million based on our current portfolio. So
you're not being realistic.
So it might be a while. So who knows? How long will it take? I mean, we'll go through as much as we can.
It wasn't my target.
Our target in the beginning is only just to hit $1 million in terms of our portfolio. We're gonna go through that first. That's sort of like we're in a 40-50% journey at the moment. So we're already halfway there. And then once we hit $1 million, it might be a bit different. You didn't know that?
No, did not know that. It's never enough.
It's just a little bit of experiment and a little bit of like, okay, how we go about psychologically, what is it that we're gonna do? So our journey, that's why we're documenting this.
Okay, I see.
Anyway, that's just our 2 cents. So based on the answer, hopefully it helps you to make your decision. Please note that this is not financial advice by any means. This is just based on our personal knowledge and what would we do in that scenario. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and
see you next time.
Bye.